What's good? It's your boy. Talking about this. This video is a little late. I know this game came out back in June. I don't play often, so it takes it a minute for me to beat certain games, and I just got through with it. So I'm gonna need y'all to bear with me on this video. So yeah, I just finished it. Feel like Rocksteady kind of let everyone down with the Arkham Knight, saying it was a completely new character, when in fact it was just Jason Todd being the Red Hood with ears, because he was let down by Batman. And like, I thought it was nice they threw that in there. No idea why I had to yawn right there. I'm not really all that tired, but I am gonna say that I feel like, okay, Rocksteady, you shouldn't have done that. There are a lot of issues within this game. One being the port. Yes, that was a major problem. But another issue I had is they were talking about the Batmobile and how they were introducing it in the game, and that's why it wasn't going to be on last gen. But at the same time, I didn't think it was going to be as big a part of the game as it is, or was, or however you want to say that. I didn't know it was going to be that big of a fucking deal. Like, I really did not think the Batmobile should have been that much involved. Like, yeah, it was cool to see the Batmobile and, you know, play around with it, but should it have been involved as much as it was? Not really. Not. No, I don't think so, because well, basically, you can upgrade Batman to fly from one end to the other before you even make it halfway through the game. So what would be the point of this vehicle if not just to be there? I also found it very irritating that they only gave Dent such a 2-bit role, saying the only thing Dent was a common bank robber. What type of shit is that? Dent could have had a bigger role. Hell, he had a bigger role in the second game. Where was Freeze? Where, where was Solomon Grundy? Why was Penguin more about money in this game? Why was Nightwing not helping as much as, he went, snooping around with the Penguin? And like, why was it Tim Drake's role was like this big? Why didn't he get more involved as the story progressed? I did find that twist with Barbara Gordon to be pretty entertaining. The overall factor of the game is, yes, it is fun. It is a Arkham game, so it does have a lot of good points. It does make a lot of, adult themed playability, and it is an adult themed comic, thing to like. But I don't know. I just felt like, they wrote it way up here, but I feel like they made it more of an open world for it to be up here than the depth of the story for it to be so up here. I feel like the open world was up here, but the story was kind of lowered, just because, I mean, you had, Joker with his quips throughout the whole game, and I feel like they didn't want to say the Joker wasn't a part of the game. So they gave him a bit role just so people wouldn't be upset, when in reality they should have just let people be upset that the Joker wasn't involved, because then that would have made it more entertaining and more, of a, more of a game for the next in line, you know, because I kept getting, you know, very distracted with the Joker, and I wanted to focus more on the Scarecrow, but I kept wanting to run into him and hear his little quips and his little jokes and the disturbing part about him. And then they added in the whole first-person shooter with the Joker, and I was like, why are you adding this in here? What does this have to do with him? You know, I mean, it does turn out to be something that's actually funny and all that. It's just, I really didn't find that necessary for this type of game. I think they could have removed that aspect of the game, saved you like an hour and a half of playtime, and made it just like any other Batman game, like Batman Arkham Asylum, where all you do is fisticuffs and all you do is fight. And it still would have been entertaining. It would have probably been 30 minutes instead of an hour and a half of a shooter. And you still would have been able to get your point across. Now, I can totally be wrong. I know a lot of you out there probably enjoyed it. I just don't see the point in putting in some Call of Duty bullshit to capture that group when your main group of fans is the comic book geeks, the people who follow Batman and Bruce Wayne and Red Hood and Joker to, you know, that's who you're going for. That's who you're selling this for, you know. And people already fell in love with this whole franchise that you started with the Batman game that's successful, with the comic book superhero game that is actually successful, because people didn't think that was able to be done after the failure of Superman 64 and the many failures of Superman games and the many failures of the Bruce Wayne games and the Batman games. And I mean, yeah, we had Vengeance, which was good and based off of the animated series, but we never had a very good, you know, adult grimy feel like the Nolan movies. And then you brought us Arkham Asylum, and it felt that void got filled, and now, you know, this holds to a pedestal of what these type of games need to be. However, Arkham Knight does fall shy of a lot of things, and I feel like, you know, these should be pointed out. Should Jason Todd, should he have been the Arkham Knight? I don't really think he should have. Should Deathstroke, should he have taken over the Arkham Knight role? Not really, because you were talking about, okay, it's a new villain, a new person, nobody knows who he is. Okay, I've heard of Deathstroke. If you've watched Arrow or ever read a comic in your life, you know who he is, especially in the DC universe. Jason Todd, if you were born in the 80s, or if you watched Under the Red Hood, or if you heard of Batman, you know who he is. I mean, you do play with people's minds in this game. Through the whole game, you're wondering, who is the Arkham Knight? Who is he? Who's the Arkham Knight? So I give you your props on that. It's just, I don't know. I felt kind of let down because I was hoping to find out about this character. I was really hoping it was a new character. I was hoping for someone besides Jason. And then you give us the character, and it's Jason Todd. The messed up part is, one of my best friends, he doesn't even have a PS4, he doesn't have an Xbox One, and he knew it was Jason Todd. Like, he was like, it's Jason Todd. And I was like, it's not supposed to be Jason Todd. And I'm playing the game. I have a PS4. I own the PS4, the limited edition of this. I own the platinum, silver, whatever color with the decal for this game, and that's the way I bought it. And, you know, of course I'm just like, alright, why is it Jason Todd? I swear to God, Rocksteady went on record as saying it's not anybody you'll recognize. Jason Todd, I recognize. I have a movie right over here called Under the Red Hood where he plays the Red Hood. That is a character and a face that I recognize. What the hell? Why did you do that? I mean, I give you props for me having to sit here through an entire game where I'm like, who the fuck is the Red? You know, who the fuck is this? But then all of a sudden he takes off the little, you know, bat part, and it's. But now that I think about it, it's like, how did I not see that? Another thing I want to say is, if you're watching this, I hope you've, you know, played the game, beat the game, not did like I did, which is wait a couple months to beat the game. If you didn't, spoiler, sorry, but I got to talk about this because it's actually really impressive to me, which is the death of Poison Ivy in the game. They did incredible with that. I never would have thought that would be a way to kill off Ivy, but that was actually very good. I haven't seen a lot of deaths in video games that I'm impressed with, but the way they handled that was very impressive, if you ask me. And I just thought, you know, okay, I can deal with this. I also had an issue with the Red Hood because you never know what happened to him. I mean, he shows back up to release Wayne against Scarecrow, but that's about it. I mean, there's no mention of, you know, him running off. There's no mention of anything happening to him. I'm fixing to go through and start it up again and play through it again, because they say if you do 100% of the game, you get a different ending. But I don't see how you would get a different ending. I hope, you know, that I can do a little bit more, and maybe if I do get 100% completion, it'll give me a different ending, because there is a lot of stuff that I want to see differently this time. But the tank, I had an issue with. I didn't find the need for the Batmobile to be in it as much as it is. I didn't find the need for the overwhelming car battles to be there as much as they are. What the fuck? You put a virus into a bomb and 900 fucking tanks are there, and you're fighting them off all the time. Like, what the hell, man? That is not what I paid for. I paid for a Batman game, not a what the hell is that shit called? They had one on the original Xbox, and I can't think of the name of it. I'm pretty sure I have it sitting over there, but I didn't pay for that. I paid for Batman. I want to play Batman. I don't want to play a damn Twisted Metal type of game. That's not what I paid for. If I wanted to play that, I'd plug that in. I want to play Batman. I don't want to play Batman Twisted Metal. I don't want to play Batman Call of Duty. I don't want to play, you know, I want to play a Batman game. That's what I came to you for. So let's plug in the Batman game and let's get Batman going. It's nice to have these little parts that remind you of these other games, but it is unnecessary for them to be as long as they are in this game. That is my point. This is a great game. And, you know, if I had to rate it myself after beating it now, I would say that it's definitely like an 8, if not, you know, an 8.5. And that's at the best, okay? And that's just because I feel like, you know, with them adding in the Batmobile and then flipping on the Call of Duty first-person shooter bullshit, that they just kind of lost their ways because it was unnecessary. They didn't do this in the other games. They didn't go and try to grab at other franchises to quick grab somebody. And I feel like that was kind of a bitch move with a studio like Rocksteady making a very big, very well respected franchise like Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, and then Arkham Knight, and then with Arkham Knight turning around and doing like every other basic bitch in the industry right now and grabbing at what's hot and throwing it into their game. That's just the dumbest move I've ever seen, and I hate games that do that. So I would say it's a 9.5, but because they did that, grabbing at other franchises and throwing it into a game in which it has nothing to do with, and because they said Arkham Knight was going to be someone totally new and it just turned out to be Jason Todd, who is the Red Hood, who's not new, I have to mark him down an entire 2 points, which would be an 8. And 8.5 to jump up a whole half a point just because the ending was nice. I did like how they ended the game, and I did like how they killed Ivy, and I respect the way they did that, so that gives them a whole half a point back. But I mean, there are plenty of problems here. There are a lot of issues here. Rocksteady should have just stuck to the basics here. They should have been like, look, we don't need to grab at other franchises. We don't need to grab at other things. The Batmobile does not need to be in this game as much as, you know, it needs to be an option. It doesn't need to be a necessity. It doesn't need to be a must to get through the game. It's there if you want it. Yes, it looks badass, but if you don't want it, you don't have to have it. And that's it. Because if it wasn't in there and it was just an option, it could have been ported to the other systems. Like, think of it that way. Had they not made it to where it was necessary for the, you know, the missions with the Riddler, or just the missions with the damn bombs, it could have made it onto the PS3 and it could have made it onto the Xbox One. But because it's a necessary part of the game to drive that fucking Batmobile, you can't have this on older systems. Point blank. You see what I mean? That in turn with me creates an issue, because at that time I only had the PS3. At that time I had the PS3. And at that time they had already promised us, you know, Mortal Kombat 10 coming out. They promised us, you know, Destiny was already out. They were like, all these new games coming out, don't worry, they're still going to be on the old systems because we're not shutting those off. We're not closing the, you know, servers down. We're not doing none of that now. We're gonna just make it to where, you know, all you gotta do is, if you have an old system, just keep playing it, don't worry about it. There's nothing to worry about. However, what we do have for y'all who have the newer systems is we have like Assassin's Creed Syndicate, or what was it, Assassin's Creed Unity. We have Bloodborne, we have Drive Club, Infamous Second Son, Killzone, Knack, The Order, and stuff like that. But if you don't want the new system, don't worry. These games that are going to be shared, that are not exclusives, are going to be on everything. The first game that decided it was not going to do that was Batman. That's what made me decide I wanted a new gen system. And then what pushed it over the edge was the limited edition PlayStation 4. And I was already a fan of the Batman games. I done beat Arkham Asylum twice. I done beat Batman Arkham City like 4 times. I was very hyped for this game. So when I say that, you know, I'm very disappointed in the fact that I have to bump it down to an 8 and then give it an 8.5 because of the credibility of the way they handled the ending and the way they handled Ivy, believe me, it's very hard for me to say that, because I don't want to say that. But the fact is, I hate the fact they went and said, we want to take from Twisted Metal and add in the Batmobile, and we want to tell y'all that it's not, you know, it's going to be a part of the game, but it's not going to be that major. And then turn around and it's a major part of the game, and it's got almost everything to do with the Riddler. And then turn around and be like, you know, oh, the Arkham Knight is someone who you've never seen, but secretly what we're not telling you is it's a character you already know. Secretly it's the Red Hood. Secretly it's Jason Todd. But you've never seen him. This is what irritates me. This is why I have an issue with majority of the games being produced today. This is why I prefer to play my old games. Because companies have gone and they like to sit there and look you dead in your eyes and lie to your face and say, please give us your money because what we have for you is a bunch of bullshit. Will you buy that? Well, the way they capture you is by title. They don't capture you by being honest and telling you, hey, this game looks great. This game plays great. This game will keep you coming back even after you beat it. No, what they do is they decorate it up and they make it look fancy and flashy and all that other shit that doesn't matter. And they say, buy this, we promise you the world, buy this, here you go. And then hopefully you buy it. When in all reality, what's the fucking point? Because you have DLC, add-ons, and season passes, which means this is $60. The season pass is another $35. That's $95 right there. By the way, the season pass for this game is a joke. The season pass is $35. They haven't released $35 worth of DLC even yet. I would know. I bought majority of the DLC. I think I only have $10 of a DLC left. So if you bought the season pass for 6 months, you are getting ripped the fuck off. So I hope you do your research before you buy into that bullshit. That is a load of bullshit. I'm just saying, because you can go through, you can do the research. It's right there. It's all right there. It says, what does it say? It says, like for the Batman game, it says the Barbara Gordon story is like $7. The Nightmare story, that is free with the fucking game. There's a buttload of skins free with the fucking game. I got, what did I get? Like the Red Hood bundle thing, like the Red Hood bundle DLC thing. That was $4. And I bought some other skins that were $1 a pop. Okay, I got a lot of the DLCs because they're a bunch of fucking skins. Almost every skin is $1. The Barbara Gordon story is $7 at most. Majority of the DLCs is under $2, if not $5 at max, depending on what you get. I also bought the Harley Quinn one. I think that one was $4, $4 maybe $5. So you're looking at the Barbara Gordon one, that was $7, and the Harley Quinn, which was $5 at max. Those were the two most expensive. The rest of them were $1, $2, $3. Okay, I haven't spent but maybe $20 in DLCs for that game alone. Not to mention, the game itself, when you play it, unlocks a whole lot of shit. Okay? And now it's telling me apprehend all of Gotham's most wanted to complete Batman Arkham Knight and reveal the full Nightfall protocol. So I didn't even get the full ending because I don't have 100% of the game complete, which is a whole nother beast in itself of bullshit. What happened to having just, you know, the ending? Like with Arkham City, you could choose and then go back and play and enjoy the game some more. What happened to that? That was enjoyable. That's what made me continue playing. Man, I'm happy I got some. I did get this, and I'm happy I got it now because I wouldn't even be able to do that. Which is the collector's edition strategy guide. I would never be able to find half the shit I need to find unless I got this, because it sure shit ain't gonna tell you in the damn game. I mean, the firefighters, once you rescue like 2 or 3 of them, you can't continually go through and rescue them motherfuckers. You have to like go around and search. Cause I clicked on firefighters like 7 times. They're like, we're gonna find the firefighters. I'm like, well, where in the hell are they? You have to go and search for them. They won't even pull it up on the map. So, an issue. Again, 8.5 at best. Could be lower. Just saying. Well, I'm gonna get out of here. I just wanted to share that with y'all. Let me know what y'all thought of the game. Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? What would you rate it? This is not an episode. This is me doing my review on the ending to what I consider a legacy of Batman from Rocksteady. And that's it for you, man. It's been fun, Rocksteady, for real. Holla at your boy.